So welcome to our session. So you guys participated in the SPIT program online, and so I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. First question is, did you guys think that you'd be able to survive 30 days with only $1,000 in savings?
Yeah.
Yeah, you thought you would? Okay.
Personally, I thought that I could just because I feel like I am pretty good at money management, and I think that if you really take into consideration what you are spending your money on, that $1,000 really will help you out. But at the beginning of the game, I thought it was just going to be for myself. I didn't realize that I was going to have to be providing for my family as well. So I think that kind of got me into a mindset of this is going to be easy because I'm paying for myself, and I'm very good at, I support myself. But, when I have children, that's obviously going to be not a lot of money to have to support your kids as well.
I kind of felt the same way about it. I knew I could support myself with $1,000, but once I realized I had to support for more than myself, I was kind of skeptical about it. I was like,
it kind of puts you in a whole different position because right now you think, oh, I'm in high school, I have this part-time job, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
And it puts you into a more of an adult mindset.
Absolutely.
And then when you guys were choosing a job, what job did you decide?
So I chose the second shift at the warehouse just because I think we chose it for the same reason, because the hours and the pay were just set hours. But then later in the game, it asked you if you wanted to change between hourly wage and how much you get paid per part. And I chose to get paid per part, and I definitely think that was not a good decision just because once I clicked that, then the fact that popped up was that I'm working as hard as I can, but I'm making 25% less, I think it was, and so that's obviously not very good for the situation that I was in.
The hours compared to the pieces.
Yeah.
And then what job did you choose?
I chose the office temp job just because it was laid back and relaxed, and it had lots of opportunities to move up, and I felt like that'd be good for me.
Into higher positions?
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then another really important thing is health insurance. What did you guys decide to choose for life insurance?
I chose the bronze plan because it was the cheapest, and obviously I don't have that much money, so.
But you still wanted to have it.
Yeah, healthcare is important. So.
Yeah, that's the same reason I chose it, just because, like I said, you are supporting your children, so you want to make sure that your kids are well insured and protected. And just because, like you said, we don't really have that much money, I did choose the cheapest plan just because I definitely think that it needs to be there, but I'm not really certain how important it is to have the most expensive plan.
There was an option too of opting out, and I think that would, in the end, just end up costing you more money.
Yeah, because if you don't have insurance, then you'll have to pay more money for your hospital bills, and it's really more you really do have to weigh it. It's just do you think you're gonna get hurt? Do you think you're gonna?
And that's not really
this?
a risk that you want to
exactly.
take.
So I do think that having it there is definitely important, but maybe not the most expensive one.
Yeah.
I chose the silver plan because being an athlete, I kind of put myself at a higher risk. So I feel like it gave me more comfort knowing that I have a little bit more support.
But not
not a lot, but not too little.
Not the most,
The middle ground.
Okay, that makes sense. And then another one that kind of made you think was the distance, or where you chose to live, and the distance from your house to the distance to your work. So, and then one of the facts that it popped up on the screen was that even if you're saving money for rent, every dollar that you save, you end up spending about 77 cents on gas anyways, so it doesn't, in the long run, it kind of costs you the same amount. So did you guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. I chose the middle ground because it wasn't the cheapest, but it wasn't the most expensive, and you don't have to pay as much on gas. But another factor that they didn't even talk about in it was that even if you live the farthest away and it's the cheapest, driving around puts miles on your car, and that more car maintenance and whatnot. So that's more bills you gotta pay. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, I chose to live further away just because it was cheaper rent, and even um, the cost of what I can't think of the word right now. No, so like the rent plus the transportation
There we go.
was even less expensive than it would have been if you lived closer to work. But now that I do think of what he's saying, like that it is putting more miles in your car and it will cost you money for car maintenance, I didn't even think about that just because right now, as the person that I am right now in high school, I don't have to think about that. So that wasn't even really a thought in my head. But I definitely do agree that that is something that you should take into account when you are choosing where to live compared to your work, even if it does cost a little bit more money.
Just like insurance, it kind of just like all
yeah,
circles around.
Yeah, you definitely just have to think about all the aspects and then decide. It can't really be like an instant like, oh, this has less money, so that's going to work. But really, it's like in the long run, it might be worse for you.
Yeah.
And just because I think that was a really good point about the car maintenance and miles on your car and stuff like that.
Okay. All right, and then let's see. Do you think that there was any decisions that were particularly difficult to make? Maybe having to do with just like having a family or anything like that?
So I think that the one about choosing between paying for your kids' lunch and like risking them like not eating was a hard decision just because I feel like free lunch is definitely something that should be taken advantage of if you are if you do qualify to get the free lunches, just because a lot of kids are spending money on lunches that really aren't that great of quality, and so I feel like the cost of lunches for schools are just kind of unnecessary. So I feel like if you do make it to the point where you can get free lunch, I definitely think that a lot of people should take advantage of that. But I do agree that there are a lot of kids that their parents kind of just teach them that that's not really like the thing to do, and
I
so
think that it has a lot to do another thing with like bullying or like peer pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like the parents teach their kids about that, and they like teach their kids to kind of put those people down that if they do get free lunch. And I definitely think that parents should not be doing that just because it is a very valuable thing. Like giving these people the opportunity to get free lunch is definitely an important part of school because obviously you don't want kids to not eat. But that's why I feel like it was a hard decision choosing between paying for your kids' lunch or risking them starving just because they were choosing not to eat and they didn't have to pay.
Yeah. And then again, it's not really your it's not really your kid's decision whether you pay or not. Like, because for you, not paying or getting the free lunches really helps you out.
Absolutely.
But like all in the end, it's your kid that's gonna suffer.
Exactly.
So it's not really their choice, but it's something that you have to decide for them. So I think that could be really hard too. And then there was a couple questions where you could like reach out to a friend and ask. And I was like, do any of you guys have like any friends that you'd be willing to like ask for help and stuff? Is that something that you would be willing to do, or are you like too humble, like to
ask for help
from your friends and stuff?
I've asked for help to my friends.
Yeah. So that's something that you would be comfortable doing.
Yeah.
That's good, because I feel like sometimes a lot of people are they just want to like keep to themselves and like do their own thing. They don't want to like reach out and have to have other people help them.
I think it definitely depends on the situation that you're in and like what you're asking. Because obviously, if you're asking for like, if you wouldn't do it for someone, I don't think that you should ask someone to do it for you.
That makes sense.
So I think you should like take into consideration, would you do it? Because if you wouldn't, then I definitely wouldn't ask somebody to do something that I wouldn't want them to ask me to do for them.
Yeah. And then, did you guys make it through the whole month?
No.
I did.
You guys both did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What day did you end on?
11.
Day 11?
Yeah.
And then, did you guys feel any, like, emotions throughout the session, or throughout the game that kind of just, like, made you feel, like, stressed or anything like that?
No.
No? Did it make you feel stressed out?
No, because it was just a game. But,
Okay. I mean, that makes sense, but it's not. For other people, it's not just a game.
True.
So I think that's kind of what they're trying to show you.
Yeah, no, I definitely felt some stress. It's not that I was like attached. It's like really like where did I go wrong?
You
is
kind
what I
of
was
start to
concerned, but I
think
was
about
like,
it. Uh-huh.
Well, it's like how if I
I feel like, well, both of
just
you
trying
guys.
to put it all together, it was just stressful
Yeah, both of you guys made it through the whole month, so I feel like you kind of had to make
sacrifice.
a lot of sacrifices.
Absolutely.
Which you didn't, which is fine because that means that you were picking things that you would actually do in your state right now, not like based on what the game was trying to make you pick in order to make it through the whole.
Yeah.
And then if you had another opportunity, would you have played the game differently?
Yeah.
Or you think you would?
I could easily make it through the 30 days.
Yeah, you could make it through, but like, just would you be like making sacrifices that you would normally make?
You'd have to make sacrifices.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to make it through without making sacrifices.
Okay. So I think that the game overall made you see how important that money can be in your life.
Yeah.
Also, I think that you guys all got a taste of what it's like to be in poverty
Absolutely.
and what those people go through every day and the sacrifices that they make
Yeah.
in order to make it through their lives.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys.